Guilty Gear Strive. Teach me.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Guilty Gear Strive Teach Me. We have a very special guest for Millia Rage. Now, can you introduce yourself please?
What's going on, everybody? It's LK here. As I would say, I'm a fighting game player for Beast Coast. I've been playing Guilty Gear since Exerd, so I'm kind of a Guilty Gear baby, but hopefully I could help you guys out with Millia Rage.
Alright, cool. So we're going to go over Millia Rage Archetype. So if you can explain a bit about Millia Rage Archetype, like what type of character is she?
So, some people would describe her as a glass cannon. I wouldn't necessarily say it like that. I would say she's a bit of a pixie type, so she's very fast with a lot of movement options that other characters don't have. And her damage is normally pretty low, but in certain situations, you can set up a sequence that can defeat your opponent in like 3 to 4 guesses.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's go over the key moves for this character. So let's go over the normals, the special moves, and then the supers.
Okay, so it's really crucial for people who are trying to play Millia to really be familiar with her moves and when to use them, because she, unlike some other characters, she doesn't have like straight up go-to moves that work in all situations. But I'm gonna try to cover the most important ones that you should definitely use against pretty much everybody. So first would be your 2K. So this is a pretty long-range 2K. And the most important thing about this is that it leads into her sweep, which leads directly into the way she wins the game, which is with H-disc like that. It goes under a lot of standing moves too, and if your opponent is like walking back or waiting, her dash speed is so fast you can catch him off guard. It's easily one of her most important moves. Another one would be the 5K. So this move is bigger than her 2K by just a little bit. And it also doesn't really have a hurt box under the leg that's extended, so you can use that to beat other characters low sometimes. And similarly, it goes into her sweep. So these are both pretty low commit pokes you can use in neutral that combined for a dash make her pretty tricky to deal with. Another one you're going to be using a lot, and it's probably like the last move that you're going to be using a lot in all matches, is actually her jump heavy. So this move is not like that fast, but the biggest thing about it is that it hits on both sides. So when you're going over somebody, you can hit with the back of this attack and start your offense from that. But as far as like specific moves you'd use for like really specific situations, you'd have her jump S. This is exactly what it looks like. It's a really good air versus air that if you counter hit them, there's a big slowdown on it, so you can get a really big combo. And there's her close slash, which it's going to take a little while for you to get used to where it actually activates, because you have to be kind of close to do it. I mean, it's in the name. And it hits 2 times, and it hits super high in the air, so you can catch people jumping. It's one of like your main anti-airs you'd use. And it also has a ton of block string options off it, so it's a really important one to get used to using.
Okay.
As far as special moves, the main ones you'd want to be familiar with is one is S-Disc. So this is like a mid-range fireball type move. It travels pretty fast. It's one hit, of course. And the main thing is that if you're dealing with a character who seems to have like really good buttons from like a long range, especially if they're lows, you can use this because this pops over lows that you could hit them. And then the other one that you'll see, and you should get used to using this quite a bit, is this. It's called a Capel. It's 236H, so quarter circle forward in the air. And what this move does is it creates a hitbox that Rose has a hitbox, and it propels Millia forward. And because of this, it actually changes how she can move in the air a bunch of ways. So she has her air dash, and she has double jump, and she has this. And the Capel goes further than the air dash, and the higher you are, the further she goes. So you can use this for a ton of things, from approaching to making certain moves with, to making your opponent like overshoot, to making them like some people have to wait for the move so they can anti-air it, so then you can choose to not do it and fall safely. The move is extremely flexible, and it's a pretty important move to use. So if you're new to her, I would say just use it a bunch and just start getting used to using it.
That is crazy. What's the one where, you know, Millia knocks you down and then it's kind of similar to this one, but there's one that's like longer. Oh, okay, that's the heavy one.
That's the heavy one. Yes. So the heavy one has some pretty specific usage. So the main thing you use the heavy disc for. Kill you real quick. Gotta get your life back. Okay. So the main thing you use the heavy one for is in a situation where you hit somebody with a sweep. So let's say you hit this, you get to go into sweep, and this is where her mix-up comes in. And this is essentially your entire goal. Is I think that Millia is the best at. There are not many characters that have good reversals in this game. So once you knock somebody down here, you could really, really push your turn and build up a lot of damage or win the round. The basic mix-up you'd like to use is either to fall with the same side and block or press your crouching kick, or you can air dash over them for a cross-up. There's a lot more you can do besides that, but this is a pretty good spot to start. And honestly, it works even on like super good players. Like it's really, really hard to defend against. And it's, again, safe to most reversals that can be done. If you think someone's going to do a reversal, you could try to go over them. If you think somebody is looking for you to go over them, you can stay on the same side, land with a crouching kick.
Excellent. So let's go over the super moves.
So she only has 2. Okay, hopefully this button doesn't explode the game. Okay, it didn't do anything. Okay. There's like a reset. I have like a reset macro on PS4 that I don't think works on PC. So I wanted you to heal, but it's okay. Let me do some more damage boots real quick. There you go. Perfect. Supers, right? Yeah.
As for your rating.
Is there a... Oh wait, I should be able to turn it on here, right?
No, because we're in online practice, isn't it?
Oh, you should. I can't set. Really? Pain. I guess I'll just go burst. I guess. There you go. So she has 2 supers. So one is gonna be this. So this is Winger. This is a 6 hitting super. This is your reversal, but honestly, it's not a good reversal. The joke I like to say is that I'm only allowed to use this once a month. It's really not that good as a reversal. Like, it's really, really not that good. So you're going to primarily be use this to break the wall. It's definitely her high damage super. And the other one, though, is quite useful. It's this. It's called Septum Voices. It's only 3 hits. So if you feel like breaking the wall and not giving your opponent a lot of meter, you can use that. And also it travels full screen, so if you see like Soul doing Gunflame or Zato trying to summon Eddie from full screen, you can use that move and punish it from full screen, which is nice.
Okay, cool. So let's go over the top 5 Roman cancels that you have.
Okay. Get some meter. Unfortunately, this is the best. She builds meter really slow compared to other characters, so it's gonna take a little bit. Is there not gauge settings in here? No, they really don't have them. It'd be like that sometimes. It's like a third of training mode is here.
Yeah, they should have added the gauge. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah. If you have a reset button, there's like a way you can give both players 100 meter. Oh yes, you did.
Oh wow, I did.
You have it. You have it. Okay, you have the power. Yes. Okay.
Oh snap, mad. All right, cool. I've done. All right, sorry. This is a bit of a blooper. Yeah, I've done 10 episodes, and we've done the same thing that you keep doing, which is running, and I didn't know that. It's only when you told me about the reset button, I'm like, all right. You're the MVP for this, man. Thank you.
I got you, bro. All right, so Roman cancels top 5. So number 1 has to be Bad Moon Roman cancels. So I didn't talk about this in special moves because it's a kind of specific special move you use for offense. This move is an instant overhead, and if they block it somehow, when you Roman cancel it, you get another mix-up, and when they get hit, of course, you get a combo. So it's really, really practical, and especially mid-screen, it's going to be one of the main ways you open people up with meter. As a side note, this is not a Roman cancel thing, but your low option, you will use the super to get your combo there.
Okay.
The second one is going to be what should the second one be? What do I spend my meter on? Huh? Oh, people like this. So I'll show it. Okay, so in the corner, block low. So she has this move that honestly is like a pretty specific use move. It's not something I'm going to use a lot. It's called Iron Savior. Right? And you can actually use something that we call the fast Roman cancel here to set up a high-low mix-up. So can you reset again real quick? Because I have 100. Yeah. So you can either do this, or you can do this. And it is a 50-50. Now, the upside is it's 50-50, so they will have a lot of problems blocking it. But the downside is the return is actually quite a bit lower than Bad Moon. The Bad Moon high-low is significant. Like both the overhead and the low do a lot of damage because the low you're going into super. The high is just you get to do an air combo. Where for the hair card 50-50 that I just showed, the low is a low damage option, but it leads into following mix-ups. Where the high is a okay-ish damage combo. But if you need something to win the round, it's a pretty good way to close the round.
All right, nice. And then the next ones?
So number 3 would definitely be S-Disc PRC. I use this quite a bit. This is a combination of neutral and offense that you get. So in neutral, you can use it to hit confirm because you can't combo up it normally, and it's pretty easy to hit confirm. And then in pressure, if they block, you get a nice height that gives you a 50-50. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can just do land low. You can do air dash really high. There's a couple of ways you can set it up. So it's both something you can use for neutral and offense at the same time.
All right, nice. And then the next one?
Okay, so you would have to... I need meter.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes. So this one... So these next two are kind of advanced stuff, but if you can implement this into your game, it'll help you out a lot. So this is kind of a hypothetical situation, but let's say that somebody does a block string into a move that's like minus, but not necessarily punishable, like this. So this is -5 Flush Shaker. So you can't punish this unless you instant block it. For basically everyone who's not at the top level of this game, they're not attempting instant block right now. So essentially this is a safe ender. So one thing that you can do is that if you do this move to me, just come to the corner. So it's quarter circle back S to do it. Okay. So if you press let's say close /5H Flush Shaker.
Close 5.
Yeah, try to put one more button in there. So you can do 5 heavy.
Oh, so 5
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Okay, so if you do a string like that, so just do a string one more time. So there's 2 ways you can look at it. So someone who's new might consider, do the string again. They might consider to use this. This is YRC. So this costs 50 meter. Everyone can do this, but Millia doesn't have really good defensive options at a glance. So you don't need no DP, for example. She doesn't have fast buttons to mesh on. So when you YRC them, you get your +10, and the opponent can they could basically only block until the advantage is over. So that is a pretty good idea, except the problem is here, do it one more time.
Oh, my bad.
You got me. Yeah, you got me. Okay. So look at my meter. It's gonna take a while, by the way.
Oh, no, we could do this.
Oh no! That was the point.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's do it again. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you look at my meter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just wait. I'll get meter soon. There we go. So the meter cooldown is about 9 seconds. So it's quite a long time. So instead, what I like to try to do is so here, do the same string again. So this is a defensive blue roaming cancel. So when the opponent is in a disadvantaged situation, but you can't get a punish and you have meter, you can try to use the blue roaming cancel to slow them down, see what they're doing, and counter what they're doing, and maybe get a combo. And of course, the benefit is I am already getting meter back because the blue roaming cancel meter penalty is much, much, much smaller than doing YRC.
Hey, and then we got one more. Is that ain't 5, is it? We got 4.
Yeah, I got one more. Yeah,
All right, one more. Let me see the one more.
the reset though.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
always
yeah,
need that
yeah,
meeting.
yeah,
Always
yeah,
need that
yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
So the last one is also pretty advanced, and unlike the last one that I used, which is actually you can apply to a lot of situations with many characters. It doesn't have to be Millia. Hopefully that helps somebody, even if you don't play Millia, right? This one is definitely specifically for Millia. It is a Capel, purple or blue Roman cancel, depending on your timing. So something like this. So the main reason for this is that some people, as I mentioned before, Capel goes further than her air dash. So when people are playing the neutral game, some people will choose to only look for Capel. This is a pretty good strategy against Millia, by the way. Of either like she has too many movement options, so you pick one to look for by like paying attention to what your opponent likes to use a lot. So if your opponent likes to use like point blank air dashes a lot, you're trying to 6p them or meet them with rising buttons. If your opponent's using Capel though, they're going to really mess with your spacing if you're looking for instant air dash. So people will wait for it. People will also wait for Capel when you're high up here, because once you're up here, all you have is air dash or Capel. So what you can do here is instead is you can Capel and then use your meter to slow them down and see if they're trying to anti or something, get out of the way, and then punish them. This can like decide the game if you get this successfully. And if they go for a button, you get a combo. If you're in a bad spot, you can block and you can at least get down safely, and it's not a scramble. So this is something I use quite a bit. It will be a little bit awkward to use, but the more you play her and get used to moving around with her, the easier it will be to tell like when should you use this.
All right, cool. So those Roman councils are really good. So let's talk about, what does your character strive for?
So, Millia, this is actually the part that is the essay, essentially. So I'm going to try to sum up what you should be doing. So essentially, to be successful with this character, especially since they took away like one of her most defining moves in previous versions of the game, she had like an air projectile, like Akuma's fireball, that people lovingly called the pin. That was a really big part of her game, and now she doesn't have it. So that means her aerial approach is not as good as it used to be. So you need a pretty good understanding of how your moves work against your opponents. And you need to understand by matchup, like, can I run at them and like bully them with 5k or 2k? Are their buttons generally better than mine? So do I have to wait for whip punishes? Do I have to bait them by jumping? Like, the way you play different matchups are different, but the macro version would basically be you're trying to use your best normal is actually your mobility and your ability to get around everyone's stuff. And then once you catch them either with a random poke or sneaking them in a throw or getting a whip punish with some type of jump or button, then you use your knockdown game plan to win that way. So she doesn't win the way like a lot of characters do, who like don't make you block, and like Soul's like, oh, I'm +3 on my close slash, +2 on my far slash. Guess if I'm gonna press a button or try to throw again or something. She's like not that great at that. Instead, she's like, oh, I threw you, good luck. Like, I have so many ways I could hit you, or I frame trapped you, so you got hit by sweep, good luck. Like, now I get to do mix-ups that you can't really do anything about besides try to block in like a maybe gold burst, maybe. Like, there's not that much stuff you could do.
Okay, so like when it comes to like, say for example, most characters like command grab characters, their aim is to kind of keep you in the corner and stuff. It seems like Millia Rage's kind of game plan is basically coming in with the rushdown with a button. Is that correct?
The better way of putting it is like you're trying to like get a hit from neutral. A lot of characters have like various tools they like to use in the neutral game, and because she's so fast, she can like get around them if you use her movement well. And when you do, you get to do this, and this ends the game.
That's happened to me many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, is there any more you wanted to add to that, or is that pretty much it?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, man. Thank you very, very much for your time, man. I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, I know you from Dragon Ball FighterZ moving into this game, and I see you play Melty Blood today as well. So, you know, I know you're really good at these games. So, I know the people are gonna want to know where to find you. So, where can they find you on social media?
Okay, so just a few things. So the number one is definitely YouTube. If you search Lordknight, you should find me, but the official name is Duke Knight because unfortunately there are too many Lordknights and too much stuff. So, but my YouTube channel is called Lordknight. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Lordknight. I stream like 3 to 4 times a week. Right now, Guilty Gear and Melty Blood and Mega Man Battle Network. If you're into Mega Man. Twitter, it's twitter.com/LordknightBB. Just that's mostly for keeping up with content and any events I might be participating in. And I'm trying to use Instagram a little bit. I don't really know what it's for besides taking pictures. I mean, I guess it's literally for taking pictures, but that's Lordknight FGC. And finally, I just started a Patreon like last week. So unlike my YouTube content, which is basically geared for beginners and intermediate players, along with like some storytelling, fighting game history, things like that, I want to use the Patreon for like pretty niche specific topics when related to like competition. So for example, I'm going to start recording my Metafy sessions and posting them there. Doing my tournament match analysis on there instead of YouTube right away. At least like most of the content on Patreon will go to YouTube, but there will be like some exclusive stuff. Like every weekly I play in, like that's only going to be on Patreon. The Metafy recordings only going to be on Patreon. So if you're interested in that stuff, that's patreon.com/Lordknight. And the true last thing is I'm also on Metafy at Lordknight. But this, by the way, should be your last ditch attempt. There's a lot of free content out there that could help you improve in fighting games, but like if you feel like you've exhausted absolutely every single possible option and you feel like you need coaching and nothing else will work, then go there. And I'm available on there on Sundays and Tuesdays.
Excellent stuff, man. I hope everyone does. I hope they listen to that and they actually follow through, man, because yeah, I think you're an excellent content creator and I'm just honored to have you on board, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, with that being said, thank you lot very much for watching this episode. It's been King J. Remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up. Subscribing is free, so you know you can join my channel and join Lordknight's channel. And yeah, we'll be on to the next video. Take it easy, everyone.